Much Ado About Nothing by William Shakespeare. This play takes place in Messina, Italy, within the home and property of Leonato. Act 1, Scene 1. Before Leonato's house, Leonato, hero, and Beatrice are waiting outside their home. A messenger fills them in with the news from the battlefield.
I learn in this letter that Don Pedro of Aragon comes this night to Messina.
He is very near by this. He was not 3 leagues off when I left him.
How many gentlemen have you lost in this action?
But few of any sort, and none of name.
A victory is twice itself when the achiever brings home full numbers. I find here that Don Pedro hath bestowed much honor on a young Florentine called Claudio.
Much deserved on his part, and equally remembered by Don Pedro. He hath borne himself beyond the promise of his age, doing the figure of a lamb, the feats of a lion.
He hath an uncle here in Messina, will be very much glad of it.
Ah, I have already delivered letters, and there appears much joy in him.
Did he break out into tears?
In great measure.
How much better is it to weep at joy than to joy at weeping?
I pray you, sir, is Signor Montanto returned from the wars or no?
I know none of that name, lady. There was none such in any army of any sort.
What is he that you ask for, niece?
My cousin means Signor Benedict of Padua.
Oh, he returned, and as pleasant as ever he was.
I pray you, how many hath he killed and eaten in these wars? But how many hath he killed? For indeed I promise to eat all of his killing.
Faith, niece, you tax Signor Benedict too much, but he'll be meet with you, I doubt it not.
Oh, he hath done good service, lady, in these wars.
He is a very valiant trencherman. He hath an excellent stomach.
And a good soldier too, lady.
And a good soldier to a lady, but what is he to a lord?
A lord to a lord, a man to a man, and stuffed with all the honorable virtues.
It is so, indeed. He is no less than a stuffed man. But for the stuffing, well, we're all mortal.
You must not, sir, mistake my niece. There is a kind of merry war betwixt Signor Benedict and her. They never meet, but there's a skirmish of wit between them.
Alas, he gets nothing by that. In our last conflict, 4 of his 5 wits went halting off, and now is the whole man governed with one. So, who is his companion now? He hath every month a new sworn brother.
I see, lady. The gentleman is not in your books?
No, and he were, I would burn my study. But I pray you, who is his companion? Is there no young square now that will make a voyage with him to the devil?
He is most in the company of the knight noble Claudio.
Lord, he will hang upon him like a disease. He is sooner caught than the pestilence, and the taker runs presently mad. God help the noble Claudio. If he have caught the Benedict, it will cost him £1,000 ere he be cured.
I will hold friends with you, lady.
Do, good friend.
You will never run mad, niece.
No, not till a hot January.
Don Pedro is approached. The soldiers are returned. Don Pedro, Don John, Claudio, Benedict, and Balthazar all happily reunite with their friends.
Good Signor Leonato, you are come to meet your trouble. The fashion of the world is to avoid cost, and you encounter it.
Never came trouble to my house in the likeness of your grace. For trouble being gone, comfort should remain. But when you depart from me, sorrow abides, and happiness takes his leave.
You embrace her charge too willingly. I think this is your daughter.
Her mother hath many times told me so.
Were you in doubt, sir, that you asked her?
Signor Benedict, no, for then you were a child.
You have it fooled, Benedict. We may guess by this what you are, being a man, truly the lady's father's herself. Be happy, lady, for you are like an honorable father.
If Signor Leonato be her father, she should not have his head on her shoulders for all Messina, as like him as she is.
I wonder that you will still be talking, Signor Benedict. Nobody marks you.
What? My Lady Disdain! Are you yet living?
Is it possible Disdain should die while she has such meat food to feed it as Signor Benedict?
Oh.
Courtesy itself must convert to disdain if you come in her presence.
Well, then is courtesy a turncoat? But it is certain I am loved of all ladies, only you excepted, and I would I could find in my heart that I had not a hard heart, for truly I love none.
Ah, dear happiness to woman, that they would else have been troubled with a pernicious suitor. I thank God and my cold blood I am of your humor for that. I had rather hear my dog bark at a crow than a man swear he loves me.
Oh, God keep your ladyship still in that mind, so some gentleman or other shall scape a predestinate scratched face.
Scratching could not make it worse, and 'twas such a face as yours were.
Oh, well, you are a rare parrot teacher.
A bird of my tongue is better than a beast of yours.
I would my horse had the speed of your tongue, and so good a continuer. But keep your way, in God's name, I have done.
You always end with a jade's trick. I know you of old.
That is the sum of all, Leonato. Signor Claudio and Signor Benedict, my dear friend Leonato hath invited you all. I tell him we shall stay here at least a month, and he heartily prays some occasion may detain us longer. I dare swear he is no hypocrite, but prays from his heart.
If you swear, my lord, you shall not be forsworn.
Leonato approaches the villainous Don John.
Let me bid you welcome, my lord. Being reconciled to the prince your brother, I owe you all duty.
I thank you. I am not of many words, but I thank you.
Please that your grace lead on.
Your hand, Leonato. We will go together.
Everyone exits excitedly, except for Claudio and Benedict.
Benedict, didst thou note the daughter of Signor Leonato?
I noted her not, but I looked on her.
Is she not a modest young lady?
Do you question me, as an honest man should do, for my simple, true judgment, or would you have me speak after my custom, as being a professed tyrant to their sex?
No, I pray thee speak in sober judgment.
Why, faith, methinks she's too low for a high praise, too brown for a fair praise, and too little for a great praise. Only this commendation I can afford her, that were she other than she is, she were unhandsome, and being no other but as she is, I do not like her.
Thou thinkest I am in sport? I pray thee, tell me truly how thou likest her.
Would you buy her, that you inquire after her?
How can the world buy such a jewel?
Yes, and a case to put it into. But speak you this with a sad brow? Come, in what key shall a man take you to go in the song?
In mine eye, she is the sweetest lady that ever I looked on.
I can see yet without spectacles, even though I choose to wear them, and I see no such matter. There's her cousin, and she were not possessed with a fury, exceeds her as much in beauty as the 1st of May doth the last of December. But I hope you have no intent to turn husband, have you?
Oh, I would scarce trust myself, though I had sworn the contrary if Hero would be my wife.
Is't come to this? In faith, hath not the world one man, but he will wear his cap with suspicion? Shall I never see a bachelor of 80 again? Look, Don Pedro is returned to seek you.
Don Pedro returns.
What secret hath held you here, that you followed not to Leonato's?
I would your grace would constrain me to tell.
I charge thee on thy allegiance.
Ah, you hear, Count Claudio? I can be secret as a dumb man, I would have you think so, but on my allegiance, mark you this, on my allegiance. He is in love. Ah, with who? Oh, now that is your grace's part. Mark how short his answer is. With Hero, Leonato's short daughter.
If this were so, so it were uttered.
Amen, if you love her, for the lady is very well worthy.
You speak this to fetch me in, my lord?
But my troth, I speak my thought.
And in faith, my lord, I spoke mine.
And by my 2 faiths and troths, my lord, I spoke mine.
That I love her, I feel.
That she is worthy, I know.
That I neither feel how she should be loved, nor know how she should be worthy, is the opinion that fire cannot melt out of me. I will die in it at the stake.
Thou wast ever an obstinate heretic in the despite of beauty.
And never could maintain his part, but in the force of his will.
That a woman conceived me, I thank her. That she brought me up, I likewise give her most humble thanks. But that I will have a recheat winded in my forehead, all women shall pardon me. Because I will not do them the wrong to mistrust any, I will do myself the right to trust none. And the fine is, for the which I may go the finer, I will live a bachelor.
I shall see thee, ere I die, look pale with love.
Ah, with anger, with sickness, or with hunger, my lord, not with love. Prove that ever I lose more blood with love than I will get again with drinking, pick out mine eyes with a ballad maker's pen, and hang me up at the door of a brothel house for the sign of blind Cupid.
Well, as time shall try, in time the savage bull doth bear the yoke.
The savage bull may, but if ever the sensible Benedict bear it, pluck off the bull's horns and set them in my forehead, and let me be vilely painted, and in such great letters as they write, here you may see Benedict, the married man.
If this should ever happen, thou wouldst be horn mad.
Nay, if Cupid have not spent all his quiver in Venice, thou wilt quake for this shortly.
I'll look for an earthquake too, then.
Well, you temporize with the hours. In the meantime, good Signor Benedict, repair to Leonato's. Commend me to him, and tell him I will not fail him at supper, for indeed he hath made great preparation.
I have almost matter enough in me for such an embassage, and so I commit you
To the tuition of God, from my house if I had it.
The 6th of July, your loving friend, Benedict.
Nay, mock not, and so I leave you.
Benedict exits.
My liege, your highness may do me good.
My love is thine to teach.
Hath Leonato any son, my lord?
No child but Hero, she's his only heir. Does that affect her, Claudio?
Oh, my lord. When you went onward on this ended action, I looked upon her with a soldier's eye, that liked but had a rougher task in hand than to drive liking to the name of love. But now I am returned, and that war thoughts have left their places vacant. In their rooms come thronging soft and delicate desires, all prompting me how fair young Hero is, saying I liked her ere I went to wars.
Thou wilt be like a lover presently, and tire the hearer with a book of words. If thou dost love fair Hero, cherish it, and I will break with her and with her father, and thou shalt have her. What's not to this end that thou beganst to twist so fine a story?
Oh, how sweetly you do minister to love, that know love's grief by his complexion.
Look, what will serve is fit. 'Tis once thou lovest, and I will fit thee with the remedy. I know we shall have revelling tonight. I will assume thy part in some disguise, and tell fair Hero I am Claudio, and in her bosom I'll unclasp my heart, and the conclusion is she shall be thine. In practice, let us put it presently.
Scene 2, a room at Leonato's house. Leonato and Antonio run into each other, both preparing for the party that night.
How now, brother? Where is my cousin, your son? Hath he provided this music?
He is very busy about it. But, brother, I can tell you strange news that you yet dreamt not of.
Are they good?
As the event stamps them, but they have a good cover. They show well outward. The prince and Count Claudio were thus much overheard by a man of mine. The prince discovered to Claudio that he loved my niece, your daughter, and meant to acknowledge it this night in a dance. And if he found her accordant, he meant to take the present time by the top and instantly break with you of it.
Hath the fellow any wit, what that told you this?
Oh, a good sharp fellow. I will send him for him, and you question him yourself.
No. We will hold it as a dream till it appear itself. But I will acquaint my daughter withal, that she may be the better prepared for an answer, if peradventure this be true. Go you and tell her of it.
Scene 3. The same. Don John and Conrad meet up moments later.
What the good year, my lord? Why are you thus out of measure sad?
There is no measure in the occasion that breeds, therefore the sadness is without limit.
You should hear reason.
And when I have heard it, what blessing brings it?
If not a present remedy, at least a patient sufferance.
I cannot hide what I am. I must be sad when I have cause and smile at no man's jest. Eat when I have stomach and wait for no man's leisure. Sleep when I am drowsy and tend on no man's business. Laugh when I am merry and claw no man in his humor.
Yeah, but you must not make the full show of this, till you may do it without controlment. You have of late stood out against your brother, and he hath taken you newly into his grace, where it is impossible you should take true root, but by the fair weather that you make yourself. It is needful that you frame the season for your own harvest.
I had rather be a canker in a hedge than a rose in his grace, and it better fits my blood to be disdained of all than to fashion a carriage to rob love from any. In this, though I cannot be said to be a flattering honest man, it must not be denied. But I am a plain-dealing villain. Therefore, I have decreed not to sing in my cage. If I had my mouth, I would bite. If I had my liberty, would do my liking. In the meantime, let me be that I am, and seek not to alter me.
Can you make no use of your discontent?
I make all use of it, for I use it only. Who comes here?
Enter Baracchio, slyly.
What's new, Baracchio?
I came yonder from a great supper. The prince, your brother, is royally entertained by Leonato, and I can give you intelligence of an intended marriage.
Will it serve you for any model to build mischief on?
Mary, it is your brother's right hand.
Who? The most exquisite Claudio?
Even he.
A proper squire. And who? And who? Which way looks he?
Mary, on Hero, the daughter and heir of Leonato.
A very forward-marched chick. Mm-hmm. How came you to this?
As I was smoking in a musty room, comes me the prince and Claudio in sad conference. And I whipped me behind the arras, and there heard it agreed upon that the prince should woo Hero for himself, and having obtained her, give her to Count Claudio.
Come, let us thither. This may prove food to my displeasure. That young startup hath all the glory of my overthrow. If I can cross him any way, I bless myself every way. You are both sure and will assist me?
To the death, my lord.
Shall we go to prove what's to be done?
We'll wait upon your lordship.